'Twas the night before Owl, and all through the league, all the players were scrimming, 3 tanks and a brig. They focused and fought through the goat-given hell, in hopes that St. Kaplan would balance it well. The talent will come, void of all contention, while Golden Boy worked on his T-Mobile mention. But despite all the hype, they remembered, of course, former host and friend, Mr. Johnny Reinforce. The season approached as contenders went on, and pressure was rising with the fast-coming dawn. Teams were preparing for the upcoming clash, in hopes they could play McCree or even Ash. Atlanta were expecting to let it all rain, praying the front signing would not be in vain. And Boston were looking for another stage 3, while some players fought back and finally broke free. Back in the East, Chengdu were on the hunt, some players back from the Battle Royale front. Shanghai looked ahead, the Dragons steadfast, hoping they could beat their 0-40 past. Hangzhou stood ready, all covered in pink, their fans spamming ayaya as a group in sync. Guangzhou was reserved, with preference for teal, hoping that their roster could seal them the deal. Meanwhile in Paris, revolution was brewing, showing their talent where players were pursuing. And across the channel, their aces held high, London were revving, ready to take off and fly. Down in LA, wings were yellow and green. Shields and purple were nowhere to be seen. Though Valiant had bested their rivals before, the Gladiators weren't done, they still had a roar. Philly were determined to have their own way. Winnable, winnable, just like Carpe would say. Florida, however, could only pray and hope that Tavik and the Koreans were able to cope. Shocked at the math and gathered enough data, ready and prepped for the quad DPS meta, Washington instead took another approach, putting faith into the hands of a genius coach. With Stitch, Haxel, and the rest of Runaway, Vancouver were ready to come on out and play. Toronto, however, would not be ignored. Bishop was ready to take over the board. Over in Texas, a rematch was building, for Dallas had a season ever so tilting. Houston got by, led by Muma and Linkser, despite not having a dedicated tracer. New York ended first, but fell short before the end. Perhaps it was sandbagging or playing pretend. Seoul, on the other hand, their dynasty failed to blossom, hoping their new tank would solve their biggest problem. Done with their practice, the teams ended their games, with visions of Overwatch dancing in their brains. And off they went with the same victory in sight. Good luck to all, and to all a good night.